boarding call for all remaining passengers. Please now make your way to the gate. The podcast is about to begin.
Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Travel. I can't believe we're so far through all our podcasts and really enjoying recording them. If you're enjoying following the journey, please subscribe on YouTube and follow along on Spotify. This week, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Kaleigh-Anne Elliot from Gold Medal Travel. So thank you so much. I've been trying to get Kaleigh for months, but she's a very busy girl.
I am, but thank you so much for having me on, Linda.
No, thanks for coming on the show. So Kaleigh works for a company called Gold Medal Travel, which travel agents will know it's a very loved name within the travel industry. But if customers are listening, they possibly won't have heard of you because it's a trade-only site, which we love. Yeah. You deal just with travel agents.
We do, yeah. Chances are, anytime I speak to customers at any customer events, they always ask, are we new? I've never heard of Gold Medal before, but once I explain what we do, who we are, we've been around for over 40 years now, so chances are they've been on a Gold Medal holiday and they don't even know it.
Yeah. Because I was going to say Gold Medal has always been in my life as a travel agent, and I'm nearly 40 years in the industry, so that would make sense. And it's been an amazing journey to watch Gold Medal grow from strength to strength every single year. But before we talk about Gold Medal, let's talk about Kaleigh. So tell us a little bit, how did you get into travel?
So I finished college in 2014. I studied travel and tourism for 2 years. And when I left there, I had a job lined up at Travel 2. I was in sales for the best part of that journey, to be honest, virtually the whole way through. Normal reservations, and then I moved into the touring team because I liked the more complex itineraries, something a bit different at each call that you got. And then during COVID, Travel 2 merged into Gold Medal. Just became one brand instead. So when that happened, I did leave for about 18 months. Tried something different. Wasn't for me.
So travel was in your blood?
It gets you. You just can't get away from it. So I did dip out. But after about 18 months or so, Gold Medal took me back on, and I'll be coming up to 4 years next month back with the business. And the last 2 of those have been on the road, so totally different.
And it's been great to get to know you because you pop in and see us regularly, and the team rely on you very much because Gold Medal is one of our, very strong suppliers because you literally cover the whole world.
We do. Bit of everything.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, I probably more used them for long haul, but you've really upped the ante with the European offering as well. So it's a kind of one-stop shop, really, isn't it?
We have. We've really branched out in Europe, probably more in the last couple of years than anything else. We've always done it. And again, like you said, no one really knew that we did. So we've tried to put a bit more of a push, like dedicated campaigns into it. And then now I think we've got up to 10,000 hotels on our portfolio. We work with loads of the low-cost carriers, and we can even do low deposit on them as well. So no worrying about having to pay up loads up front for your flights. We're still doing that at your £99 per person deposit if we can.
And it means the client's getting the advantage of having a package holiday.
Yeah, so important.
It is so important. And, just to kind of touch on that for people that are listening who are not in the trade, package holidays come with loads of regulations for a reason. Yep. If something's going wrong, and nobody ever sets out to go on holiday for anything to go wrong, but with the pure nature of what we do, things can go wrong. There are so many elements of a trip that could potentially at any given time go wrong. So having a package holiday gives you that financial protection, the security. So people can book online and people can do their own thing, but that's great if everything goes well.
You just hope it's never you, but you'd just rather have that security blanket of knowing that if it is you, you just pick up the phone and you phone somebody, and we've got out of hours teams.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you guys are shut, they can still reach us 24/7, so there's always somebody there.
Even if I wasn't a travel agent, which I can't imagine a time in my life that I wouldn't be, I would still book a package holiday now, knowing what I know and foreseeing it from my side and what things that could go wrong. So so before we get into everything that Gold Medal does, just before we came on air, we were talking about you went travelling for 6 months.
I did.
So tell us about that.
So it seems like a lifetime ago now. I was 24 at the time, I want to say, so pre-COVID. So I timed it perfectly. I went out after our busy spell, January, February, and I had agreed with my bosses can I take a sabbatical and I'll come back in 6 months' time.
Hope my staff aren't listening to this.
Ready for what we call our mini peaks. So September, October is a really busy time for us as well. And they agreed. So it was unpaid time off. So I just had to make sure I had enough money to keep me going. I didn't want to work when I was out there. It was just one massive holiday.
Amazing. So where all did you go?
I flew out to Australia first. 2 of my friends came with me, and we hired a motorhome. We went from Perth up the west coast and back down again. Then when they flew home, I was off on my own to Sydney. I'd done a 6-week tour up the east coast. I went on to Bali, and then after that I was supposed to go to Sri Lanka, but they had some unfortunate terrorist attacks and things that meant we weren't able to go. So I went back to Australia for a couple of weeks, phoned Travel 2 and they sorted me another visa. So there we go, we got our protection there. So got another visa sorted, went back to Australia, done my own thing for a couple of weeks, and then I'd done the typical backpacker loop. I've done Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and then I had dipped out to Singapore for 2 days because I was about to overstay my welcome.
Okay, so that's a way to get around your visa is to leave the country and come back in.
You can go back in again and it just resets. I only had a couple of days left and it was cheaper than changing my flights.
Good idea.
And then upgraded myself to business class for the way home because it was the only way to come
you
back.
You still had money left?
I'd done it before I left. I got a really good deal, so I thought, when am I ever going to do this again?
Yeah.
I saw it, booked it, and I always remember it was a really sunny day. I had the chauffeur transfer from Newcastle Airport back up. My parents live in the Borders. And he laughed because all I had was this tiny backpack, and he said he was so used to people coming out with
lots of luggage.
And loads of luggage, and he just put it on his back and he looked at this big guy with my tiny backpack on, and he dropped me off, and my parents just looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" Because I wasn't due back for a couple of days. I thought I'll go and surprise them.
Yeah.
And I thought, should I be getting back in that car and you can try that again?
That's right, surprise.
It was not the reaction I expected, but I think they were just shocked because they were expecting me a few days later. But I thought I'll come back. And
so would you recommend that to somebody, just to go take off? And
absolutely. I'd do it again if I could afford it, but I've now got some responsibilities.
Yeah, houses,
bought a house
and cars and things.
Yeah, so and I don't think I could do my job that remote at all.
I always think that when I was young, like, it wasn't really a thing that people went travelling, you know, when I was in my late teens. And then I started working and I got the 5-star lifestyle of working in travel. So the thought of backpacking really didn't appeal to me. Mm-hmm. But when I look at young people now and see, I think, oh, it's such a great thing to do.
The agreement for my parents was that I'd done back-to-back tours. I didn't go out without a plan. And I worked in the tours department, so I sat and I created myself this giant itinerary. Loads of back-to-back tours. So I've tried loads of different tour companies, and it was a good way for them to know. They just printed off everything that I was doing. They knew where I was.
So you weren't really on your own?
So I wasn't, no. There was a few bits here and there where I'd a couple of days by myself, but everything was pre-booked. I arranged everything before I went.
What a great opportunity and a great experience.
So it was great to just have that and still be welcome back. But going back onto the phone selling these places when you've just been there for months was...
So it's a win-win for them as well. Yeah, absolutely.
So it was the best time.
And I think adventure holidays or touring holidays, the increase or the appetite for that is massive now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially since COVID, where people are just thinking, do you know what, let's just do it.
Yeah, something a bit different. You still want... Even myself, I still like the flying flop holiday. I want to go and read a couple of books and not talk to anybody for a week. But I'm not long back from Japan in March there, and that was a tour for 13 days, very full on, but I still equally had a great time doing that. So you find the right balance between the two. I
think that's, absolutely. You've got to hit the nail on the head, do the tour, but then finish it off with a few days at the beach, or start a few days at the beach just to get a bit of chill time as well. Japan is massively popular. I said this a few weeks ago in a podcast.
Do you know, I actually booked a deposit, or I paid for the deposit during COVID. And that was you just finally going.
Yeah.
We'd got it on a really good deal. Back then, it was in 2020. And we thought, we'll just book it. It was a open dated deposit, so we just paid for it at the time, and it locked in the price that we had then. And with it now being so popular, we saved ourselves a fortune.
That's a top tip for sure, to do an open deposit. Yeah, there you go. And I think that's, you know, for again, people who are not in the trade, and for viewers that are listening, customers, then booking early for something like that is definitely the way to do it. People think if they leave it to the last minute, they're going to get a deal, but not in tours.
No, definitely not. And especially not for places like Japan when you've got your cherry blossom season and things get booked up so quickly. We went in March, so it wasn't quite as busy. It was still a bit cold.
And did you see the cherry blossom?
We did. We were really lucky. Not as much as you see in the pictures, but there was the odd few that had blossomed already. But we got to see the snow monkeys.
I was going to ask you about the snow monkeys. They're my favourite.
They were honestly so cute. And they were just totally different to the ones that you hear about or see when you go to Bali. These ones are not used to interacting with anybody, and they just walk past you and they just weren't bothered that you were there. You're in their territory and they're just roaming around. It was
Have you been following the story of the punch?
Yes.
And did you go to that zoo when you were in Japan?
No, so we went to like a national park where they were just roaming around.
And they're natural.
So they were just in the hot springs and you could see they were all fluffy before they went in, and then they just went into the hot springs and it looked like they were melting almost. But they just came out and they were having a great time. I think they learned that that's where the heat is, so they just go down and enjoy the hot springs.
Love life.
Yeah, they do.
I get really invested in Little Punch, I have to say. Yeah. You don't know what you're seeing on the internet, whether it's, fake AI, fake news, but I was every day following his wee journey. But he seems to have kind of fallen off the viral TikTok, so hopefully he's living his best life, and I don't have to jump on a flight to Japan and go and bring him back to West Kilbride. So yeah, Japan, absolutely fantastic, travelling all over the world, and you're just about to go off on a trip with travel agents, which Heather in our office is going, and she's going away forever. It's a long trip.
No, it's such a good opportunity, and it's the first time I've ever done it. So it's our cruise ultimate fam. So we ran a campaign where agents could basically just register their bookings to go into the draw. So any Cruise Plus booking that they made went into the draw, and Heather's always on the ball with stuff like this. I don't even need to tell her to enter the bookings. They're already done. So she was so lucky that she's been
allocated a place.
Yeah, so there's 16 agents across 4 trips travelling at the same time on 4 different cruise lines, and then we'll all meet up in Rome at the end.
For a big party at the end.
For a big party, yeah, and some sightseeing. So
and meanwhile I'm left at home to carry the can. But
no, but we've not seen the full itinerary just yet. Hopefully that'll be out soon. But they all look incredible, so I'm sure she'll have a great time, and I'll see her in Rome. Absolutely.
So Gold Medal has lots of strings to its bow. So Gold Medal Holidays is the kind of main, typical, all your main holidays. You do flight only, you do hotel only, car hire, motorhomes, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But then we've got Pure Luxury,
which
is obviously, as the title says, 5-star plus. And
so Pure Luxury is a 5-star plus. It doesn't need to be business class or anything. A lot of people think if I'm travelling luxury, I'm going to need to be in business class to get that. But you could be going on one of the low-cost carriers to a really nice 5-star resort in Europe, and it's still a pure luxury holiday to us. So but you do just get some different inclusions that you don't get on a Gold Medal holiday. So anything over a certain amount, you do get complimentary UK chauffeur transfers.
I know, that's a nice add-on, isn't
it? So you get so many miles included free of charge, and then anything over and above, we can calculate the mileage with the company that we use, and we can add it to the cost of the booking, so the customer's not having to pay anybody direct once they're there, and they don't need to worry about it. So it
works well for us if customers are having to fly out of Edinburgh, which from the West Coast is always a bit of a bugbear. But if you can say to them, don't worry, you've got chauffeur transfers, it makes the Edinburgh flight a little bit more bearable for them.
And if you compare what you would pay in taxis or parking, and then see what the difference is if you are outside that mileage range, chances are it's probably still going to be better paying the chauffeur transfer.
A few extra pounds,
you're not having to do the driving.
Then you get lounge access. And
so we include lounges on all of our pure luxury bookings, so even if they're not using the chauffeur transfer, they're included on all of them. And we've got a concierge team there that basically arrange anything that the customers are looking for.
Dining,
right up until
spa treatments, all that.
They've arranged the weird and wonderful. It's anything, try our best. Anything we can do, we will.
But it's interesting you say that with the pure luxury, you can use your low-cost carriers as well, because sometimes people just want the most direct route.
Yep.
So that might be, a Jet2 flight or an EasyJet flight, as opposed to, business class with British Airways or Iberia or whatever.
And they might want the top suite in the hotel, so it doesn't really matter how you're getting there. It's just,
or if they want a private jet, we can also arrange that as well. But there is something for everybody.
That's it. Yeah, because luxury means something different to every single person you ask. The same with most things. Like cruise and tours, you could say the exact same. Everybody's idea of it is different.
And moving on to Cruise Plus, again, exactly what the title says. It's cruising plus everything else.
Yes.
And that's really good, because a lot of the cruise companies will let you fly in and fly out, but they're not really too interested in your pre and post. And to keep it all together as a package, Cruise Plus can do that.
So we work now with over 40 different cruise lines, and we're always adding to the portfolio. But as you say, it's great for those customers that do want to, they might even want to do a tour beforehand or after the cruise if they want to go lie on the beach for a week, or they might be going to visit their family and friends. It just gives that little bit of flexibility that you might not get if you were booking direct with the cruise line. So there's endless opportunities that we've got.
Yeah, what we've been seeing is the kind of Greek and Turkey itineraries, or Eastern Med, where people want to do some like island hopping in Greece. I mean, cruise companies just aren't set up to do stuff like that, but Cruise Plus is.
Yeah.
So nothing is too difficult. It's all really easy to do, and you can pick and choose. You can do back-to-back cruising as well, which is good. And you use some of the kind of more, I don't want to use the word obscure because that sounds, but cruise companies that are not really well known, which is great.
Some of them I look and I go, I didn't know we worked with them. That's new, so I'm adding that to my list. And they just, anything that pops up, it's always worth phoning through and asking the question. If we get the phone call often enough, it'll be in the feedback and we're getting asked for this and we don't sell them. Is that an opportunity for us to maybe have a look at maybe partnering up with that cruise line as well?
And your team and the reservations are just fantastic. Some of them have been there from Travel 2 and Travel 4 days. I'm old enough to remember Travel 4 as well. And we've just built a rapport with these guys over the years, and they're great, because we can, that person's great for America, or that person's great for Asia, and you can...
we kind of keep their skill set that way for a reason. So they either do take east calls, they'll take west. Same with the cruise and tours, so that they're not taking a mixture of calls. You can't really become a specialist in a certain thing that way as easily. So if they're taking the same calls day in, day out, they really do know their stuff. And they get to experience these fam trips as well. So they've been out, they've experienced it.
Well trained.
They are, absolutely. There's a lot that goes into it.
And you mentioned earlier that the deposit is generally £99 per person. So
on Gold Medal, yes. Cruise Plus is slightly higher, generally because the cruise lines do take
higher deposit
from us as well. But it's something we would advise at quote stage anyway.
Yeah, so, but on a Cruise Plus though, you've maybe got 5 or 6 elements. Yep. You're not paying 5 or 6 deposits, so still compared to what you would be doing if you were doing it yourself.
That's it.
And you've got that protection of it being a package as well, which is great. And then the other string to your bow is Adventure Holidays, Incredible Journeys. So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so that's basically where I spent most of my selling career. I've always been told not to have a favourite, so but it's just what I've known and loved for so long as well. So similar to Cruise Plus, it's essentially the same, but for touring holidays. So I think we're now over the 40 supplier mark that we work with. And that's cruising and land-based tours, so like expedition cruising would come under that. It does, yeah. So we've got all your expedition tour cruises and tours, but then we've got all your third-party operators that are sort of known to customers, the likes of G Adventures, Intrepid. All those guys are partnered with us. But we've got our own exclusive tours as well. So they are exclusive to Incredible Journeys, which you're not going to be able...
There you go.
There you go. Learn something new every day.
Every day's a school day.
So we've only got 6 at the moment. So it started off Sri Lanka, and now we've branched out. So we've got... I'll need to get this right. So Sri Lanka, we've got Costa Rica, Peru, South Africa and India.
Okay.
So these are all private tours. You've got private driver guides for the duration, and we can completely tailor make it. So they might have seen an itinerary with a group tour operator, but they don't want to travel as part of a group, we could take that itinerary and replicate it with a private driver guide instead. And usually when you say private touring to somebody, they think it's going to be really expensive, but a lot of these are really reasonable and they work out really quite well. And again, we can do the add-ons, we can do the beach. The likes of Sri Lanka, probably the most popular is flying down to the Maldives, having a stay there, and then we're packaging all those flights back home as well.
We did a tour in India and it was a private driver, and every day my suitcase was really heavy, so I was like tipping the driver for carrying my suitcase. And he was like camping outside my door and he was like so grateful, and I wasn't giving him in my opinion, a huge amount of money, but for these guys it was. And they were just absolutely adorable. They would have done anything for you. And took you to all the best places. And that's the nice thing about having a private tour, is you can stop when you want, do what you know, you're not guided by everybody else. So
that's it. And chances are they're going to be taking you to places that maybe a big group wouldn't get into. So if you're a smaller group, you've got more chances of getting into places. A lot of them are local guides as well, so they might know a lot more about the area, and they'll be able to take you.
Best restaurants and best pubs and things to go to. Yeah, amazing.
So
the plan is to grow that exclusive tour business then to other destinations.
Yeah, so we're always looking for where the next one's going to be. Sherwin does get the lucky job of going out and trying them, and
tough job, eh?
No.
Somebody's got to do it.
So the latest one that we added on was Peru, and then we're just looking for the next, and we'll trial them. We see how they work. We get feedback from you guys, what you're getting asked for, and what works best.
Costa Rica, we're getting asked for that loads.
Yeah,
that's a destination. It's definitely up and coming. So I heard you saying Costa Rica.
Yeah, that's on there. But we've got options for Costa Rica that you could self-drive it as well.
Oh, right, okay.
I done Costa Rica on a fam trip a few years ago now, but we done it as part of a tour, and I reckon you could probably, like, the roads, well, I say they looked easy enough, I wasn't driving, but I feel like it doesn't look as daunting as you might think. So we do have self-drive itineraries there if someone is up for a bit of a different experience, because you don't hear about that very often.
No, I wouldn't have thought self-drive in Costa Rica, but self-drive is again very popular. I mean, years ago everybody went to Florida and got a fly drive, but if you kind of take that out of the equation, the motorhomes and car hire that you offer in Gold Medal, you can really, literally get a flight and a motorhome, and away you go and do your thing, which is amazing.
So many options.
Yeah, a lot of people do it in New Zealand. Want to go between the North and the South Island, and they take their
Canada and USA as well is big for motorhome hire. It's really just wherever you can get them. Really, people are quite happy to it's the freedom, I suppose, of not having to be at that night. If you find somewhere you really like, you think, well, we could just stay here for another night. You're not tied down to sort of constantly moving on to your next destination. So
yeah, absolutely. So you're well travelled.
Yes.
And interesting, you've always, apart from your little break, you've always stayed with Gold Medal, who are part of the Donata travel group. So that's a name that listeners might have heard of. Yeah. So it's a much bigger organisation.
It is.
But the nice thing about Gold Medal is that it's trade only. So it gives us access to an incredible portfolio of options for our customers. And pretty much if Gold Medal doesn't do it, then it's not really worth doing.
I know, I think it would be rare we get a call that we can't facilitate, to be honest. There is just so much now that we can do. So it's always about protecting that relationship with you guys. So we've always been B2B, and we would just always push the customer back to you guys. You do get the odd passenger that does phone.
Slips through the net and finds the secret number.
Find the number, yeah. And they do phone, but we're just diverting straight back to you guys, because that's where the relationship lies. And we're looking to protect that as well.
Yeah, well, we are really, as a travel agent, very much appreciate that, because there's so many suppliers that don't have that relationship. They're always trying to get customers to go direct, which is not ideal. No. So we do appreciate it. So I'll say thank you on behalf of the travel industry. So what lies ahead this year for you? You're obviously going on your fam trip, but what else have you got up your sleeve?
I don't have another personal holiday booked this year.
I don't believe that.
And it's scaring me, because I'm never like this. So I did put a deposit down on the last tour that I done when I was in Japan. So I'm toying between Sri Lanka and South Africa. but I don't have anything booked.
I can highly recommend South Africa. It's fantastic.
My boss is just back last month and it just looked incredible. So it's inspiring me to get something booked because this is not like me at all.
South Africa is one of these countries that it's just amazing. It's got everything. It's got beach, it's got a city, it's got mountain, wine. The people are just lovely. And golf, really incredible hotels. And once you get to South Africa, the cost of living is so good.
I've heard that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the cheapest place to get to, but once you're there, it's crazy cheap.
And the amount of people that have gone back again and again. So it just seems to be one of these places that you don't just go once, like there's always something to go back for, and everybody just speaks so highly of it. So it's definitely
I've been
on the
multiple
list.
times, but I've really only ever done the Western Cape because I had family there. So I've still got loads of South Africa to do. So yeah, it's a country that you should say you could go back time and time again. So I can't believe you're not getting anything booked.
I know, it's quite scary actually. So
Aye,
I need to do something.
That'll
about
be
that.
Short-lived, absolutely. Yeah.
It's just trying to find something. I'm just very indecisive. So the fact
Well,
that
you have travelled a lot of places, so
and the fact I've been a big holiday this year already. So
was Japan a holiday then?
Yeah, that's my
Right,
personal
okay,
holiday.
brilliant.
Yeah, so I've had a big trip already. So
Yeah,
I might do a
rein it
fly
in
and
a little
flop
bit.
and go
Magaluf
lie in
or
the sun.
something.
Oh no, I don't. I'm too old for that now.
Oh, I don't know so much. Just before we finish, I'm just going to ask you some fun questions just to kind of mix it up a little bit. And I haven't warned you about this, so just so we can get to know a little bit about what you say you don't like Magaluf, so that's giving us some ideas. City or beach?
Beach.
Luxury or budget hotel?
Oh, luxury.
That's been a travel agent though, isn't it?
Like, get spoiled on fun trips.
Absolutely. Street food or fine dining?
Street food.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'll be find that some of the best food that I've had has been on like a tiny plastic chair on the street in Vietnam. So yeah, street food.
If you're brave enough to try it and know exactly what you're eating, you're not eating
Do you know,
bat.
if the locals are there, you know, it's pick a busy place. If there's locals eating, you're absolutely fine.
Good to go.
Yeah.
So I was going to talk about travel style. I was going to say plan everything or wing it, but you're probably a plan everything because of your tours background.
Bit of a planner.
Yeah.
I like to know
which is good.
what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to be a wing it, but I think working in travel, you can't be because you're so used to.
I like to be in control.
Yeah. And finally, backpack or suitcase?
Now suitcase. Previously backpack for a long time, but now definitely suitcase, and hope the wheels don't break like they did in Japan.
Oh no.
Pushing it around with 3 wheels was not fun, but it made it home.
I was coming home from New York a few weeks ago and I went to fasten my suitcase. No, I went to put my suitcase on the conveyor belt and the zip just burst open completely. The whole suitcase opened. And I was like, no. Anyway, the guy behind the desk assured me it was fine and he's re-zipped it. It'll be fine. And I'm thinking, I'm going to get back to Glasgow and my shoes are all going to be coming round. But it didn't, so it was all good.
That's good.
So thank you so much. We're out of time. I eventually got you on the podcast, so I really appreciate it.
No,
and thank you for all the support that you give LH Travel. We really do appreciate it, yourself and Gold Medal. Thanks for coming on the show.
No, thanks
and
for
to
having
all
me.
our listeners, thanks again for listening and look forward to next week's podcast.